Good morning, everybody. This is Laurie of Laurie's Heirloom Sewing in 3 Acre Lake. So I just found out from my sister that she got the package today with the Marie's Picnic shorts and the apron. I'll try to remember to pop up a picture if I have one, or I'll link the two videos below. She got that today. Let's see, it's 8:30 here, so 10:30 there in Alabama. Pretty cool. And I'm working on the pants because I got the fabric for the cuffs and pockets yesterday. I need to give it a quick press. We're going to do the side seams, and then I'm just going to put a cuff at the hem. I have to measure out, her inseam is 28, and I do need to do the pockets before, and I'm kind of trying to decide how I want to do those. I honestly think I'm going to go ahead and do a basic solid green, but I'm going to have a cuff at the top of the pocket out of this. So there'll just be touches of this absolutely gorgeous fabric instead of just a whole, smack you in the face look. I think just a little bit here and a little bit there is probably a much better option for a full-on pair of pants. So I'm going to press this up and I'll be right back. I do apologize for the noise. Okay guys, so I kind of developed a pocket I haven't stitched yet. This is the inside part of the pocket, and this is the outside of the pocket. And basically, it's just this. Now I'm going to have to cut this piece down. I did have to cut this one down to get it to work out. So, okay, that is definitely what I'm looking for right there. So I can trim this right across that fold. And then I did take a minute on this one to square up my fabric. So I'm going to do the same thing. I'm just going to square them up. I'll be right back. What I wanted to show you is you take this piece of fabric right here, the green that has red thread attached to it. Okay. And across this top right here, I'm going to fold down a scant 1/4 of an inch, and I'm going to finger press this. Or I'm going to use that. And then you fold it over again, basically the same amount, just fold it over on top of itself. And just, if you have a small little iron, that's perfect. Alright, and I'm going to use glass head pins for this. I'm not going to use plastic pins or clips. So if you don't have glass head pins, you'll need like your basic metal straight pin, something that won't melt under your iron. Okay, and pin that down like I've done there. And then match this up to the floral or your inside print, making sure that the bottom edge is even and the side edges are also even. Okay, and I'm going to use a glass head pin because if I go to the ironing board, I could easily touch one of these. They're not in my purview, but it could happen. So I'm just going to put a couple pins because I need this to be stable. Okay. Now for this, I do think I need to trim off a bit on the top right here, because the main goal at this point is, I'm going to have to trim some of this off. So what I'm looking for is a small cuff to go over the top of the top edge of the pocket. And this is going to get stitched down right here before it's applied to the back of the pants. Okay. And this does not have to be a thick piece of fabric, so you can trim out any excess, which is what I plan to do. Now my next step, because I want these even and I don't have a pattern, I'm just kind of winging it here, is I'm going to need to, I'm going to pin this so it'll stay. Okay, I need to match this width to this width. So then with this like this, we're just going to turn the pocket. I didn't even clip my corners. I just used my turning tool and poked them out like this. Over the top of this fold right here. And the same thing on the other side. So we're going to tuck this in to the best of our ability and then get this little extra edge of floral fabric to just kind of wrap around. Now if you're at the ironing board, it's a lot easier to do. So you press this and you press this, so these two side edges are pressed down, and then we're just going to bring this over the top. And when you're at the ironing board, take a pin and fold. You're just going to have to really manipulate it. There may be an easier way to do this, but this is the vision I had in my head. So I'm just using my pen, and then I'm just going to steam that down using my glass head pen, and the same thing over here. And then when you get that done, just fold your little pocket over the top like this. Let me zoom in a little bit. So see, I'm just folding it over, not all the way down onto the top like this, but just kind of right along that top edge. Alright, so I thought I was recording and I wasn't. Here are the two pockets. I just stitched right across this top edge of both pockets. So they are ready to be applied to the back. So the back is marked with the letter B across the top, and the front is marked with the letter F across the top, so that I am able to make sure. Okay, so see on the front I had letter F's right here, but I pressed these because I needed to press open those seams. Now I can check and make sure I have, yep, see the letter B is on the outer side of the back. So when I pressed open these center seams, I didn't completely erase all of my landmarks. But I'm going to reapply those. I just want to, be safe. Okay. So I know this is the back, and I know I want the pockets on the outside. So I'm going to line up the top edges. And the way I do this for my own way of doing it is I go ahead and fold down the waistband to the approximate amount. I don't get myself wrapped around the axle thinking, oh no, I was off by 1/4 of an inch. Okay? And then I take a ruler and I measure across the back. Okay, so from that seam, this is 12, and this would be my seam allowance. Longer line for the seam allowance and the short line right there. Oh, you can't see. Let's get this sorted out so that you can see what I'm talking about. Okay. So right here I have a long line that I drew, and I have a short line right here. And that's to tell me that this right here is 12 inches from the center back seam is 12 inches. I am going to measure it again just to be sure. Okay, that's 4.5. And hold that down. Let's see where I am. Needs to come down just a hair. Oops. Oh, perfect. Okay. All right. Now I'm gonna pin. I'm pinning in the middle. I find that's a little bit more accurate in this particular case. I also do not want to run over pins when I'm putting the pocket on. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and get this one applied. And there could be, you know, that there's an actual formula for doing a pocket. This is what I find works for me. So I do me, you do you. I think they're really cute. I love the little extra touch across that pocket top. I think it'll be really cute when the other one has been applied, like so. And then of course we're doing the cuff at the bottom of the leg. All right. Oop, extra thread, which we don't need. Okay. There we go. All right, and I will see you back here this afternoon. Thanks. So guys, I completely forgot that I had ordered this. Look at that. Now I will say it's not, I'm sure this is crinkly and I'm sorry, I'm just going to go ahead and open it. I'm sure it's not the quality that we would expect from maybe DMC, but I liked the way it looked. Okay, so far I'm going to have to say I love the way this feels, and you know I'm going straight for the red. Yeah, it has a nice feel, a nice finish. My review as of right now is not bad for the price. I think it was $11. I'll try to link it below. This is just a little plastic case with, it was like a bonus with, these look like Milner's. Some people say milliner. Here's some darners, and then this looks like maybe some crewel needles. They all have nice big eyes. There is also an included needle threader. I just noticed they also included a 35 color chart. So, not bad. Alright guys, I'm back and I'll show you around here real quick. There's some shelves recently added, like within the last 10 minutes. And then I have some jars that I'll be using. Okay, so while I was out running around today, I checked in with my sister and the shorts fit perfectly. So that's always good to hear. And my thoughts today were I might do 2 rows of stitching across the bottom of these pockets. I wanted a little bit of balance. I mean, we've got this wide-ish top band. So I think I'm going to do 2 rows of stitching. You know, I did a chevron design on the last pockets, and I think I'm going to see what that looks like. So it looks like we've got the pockets in place. Now I want to check and make sure that my phone fits. Oh yeah, well, she's still got lots of room back there. Okay. Alright, so the next step in putting this together would be to stitch the side leg seams together. I'm back. I had to take a small break to help the leashes on the dogs for their nightly walk. Nightly, you say? Yes, it is getting kind of late in the day here. Okay, so my plan for these cuffs, is I need to measure pretty much almost exactly the same, but I know that as I fold them up, they will shrink a little bit. So I'm going to add just an extra little bit, and I need to double the amount of fabric that I'm going to put on the bottom, because I'm going to fold them up. So this fold, of course, would be at the bottom. I'm thinking that all I have to do is stitch this together this way, once I get these legs put back together, I'm going to fold this in half and then do a blanket stitch along the bottom edge. Hey guys, so there's really no way for me to describe what I've been through with just this part of the pants. It has just been kind of a mess, I'll just say. Maybe a little bit more. We'll call it a hot mess. Because, of course, I chose a print fabric that is directional, and I have folded it in half. And when you do that, of course, you lose the perspective of what it looks like, because one side is correctly up and down and the other side is upside down when you fold the directional print in the you know, in the way that I have. So the first time I sewed this on, I had to take it off because I had taken up too much of a seam allowance along here, and the pants ended up being too short. Remember, we're aiming for 28 inches inseam length. So I had to take the cuff off of the bottom, and I had gone around it twice. That's where the hot mess comes in. So then I pressed and I fixed and I got it all beautiful. It looked great. I had the right measurement. Everything was just perfect, except that the cuff was put on upside down. So I have taken the cuff off again, meaning I have now removed thread 3 times, because the first time I had to go around and do it twice. There's a spot right there that I couldn't quite get the thread off, but it's just on the cuff fabric. And it looks like there's a little piece right there that I'm also going to just kind of pick out. There we go. Okay. So now I'm going to sew this, and I'm going to have to say that for my own sanity, this will be the last time, and I will not be sewing this cuff on to this leg again. If this is on incorrectly or something else has managed to escape my purview and I am not able to see that a horrible mistake is about to cuff off and make a new cuff. If it goes well, which is my hope in my heart, this is going to the third and final time with this cuff, then the leg, it should be 28 inches because it was the last time. And we're going to move on to cuff number 2 right here and put the waistband on, and we'll be done with these pants. So that's kind of my plan. Now I'm trying, let's see, did I get it pinned on correctly? Yes. I want to make sure as I am doing this that this seam on the cuff, oops, if you look, there's a seam where the cuff is stitched together right here. This is the one I haven't done yet. I want that seam on the inside leg seam. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to stitch this on, and I'll be right back. Okay, so I want to point out that I am doing kind of a cover stitch. It looks, let's see if I can find something. Okay, so the stitch I am using is number 12 in this photo on my phone. So this is what it looks like when my needle and my machine are making this stitch. I'll try to go slow. So as you can see, it goes forward, it makes a loop, it goes backward, it goes forward, it makes a loop, it goes backward. Trim these new threads and then check to see if my seam looks good and my birds are facing the right direction, and oh yes, we are doing well now. So here we go. This is the bottom of the pant leg, and as you can see, I finally got the birds going in the right direction. And the seam is on the inside leg seam. That looks good, like one big thing. Okay, so the next one is just doing the same thing. Okay, there's a couple things I'm going to do that would normally to me be like outside the lines, truly way beyond what I would normally do. But because I am having a serious set of weird circumstances surrounding the creation of these pants that I don't normally deal with, I'm going to take a couple of precautions. I don't know if it will save me. I mean, at this point, I honestly, because just to give you an example, last night I measured this leg, and it measured 27 inches. And I thought, what in the world did I do? I measured it, and I remeasured, and I measured it again. And all 3 times, it came up 27 inches. This morning I came in here and measured it. 28. So I measured it again, 28. So I left the room and I came back in here a little while later and I remeasured it, 28. So I thought, well, okay, it's 28. Honestly, that's good. That's what I wanted. Because I didn't know what I was going to do if it was 27. I thought, well, I'm going to have to rethink the whole thing. So what I'm doing right now is I'm kind of trying to see, yeah, it looks like maybe this leg that I'm working on now may be slightly more narrow because I just kept taking, oh, wait a minute, maybe not. Oh, we appear to have actually a perfect match. Okay. This was what I was hoping. Okay. So the bottom of this leg is the same as the bottom of the finished leg, which is really what you want. Okay, so I cut what I thought was a 6-inch wide strip of fabric twice, measured it twice, cut once. They were all coming up 5 inches, so then I had to just do it again. So I've basically used up all of my fabric to get this, and I don't want to mess this up. So this time I'm going to, this is the inside where this seam would be, and this is the fold. I need to have my fabric. Okay, so it would be this way, I think. Okay guys, so I actually finished the pants. So I've been obviously working on this. It's definitely got a ways to go. And then after this one, I have the sweet tea piece that I'm going to add, and then I just need one more. So I was kind of thinking about biscuits, because you could have biscuits with apple butter, and you could also have with that some sweet tea. So that might be where I go, because a biscuit list of ingredients isn't a whole long list like you would have with a few other things, but biscuits would be easy to do. So I think I already mentioned that, but that's kind of where my head is. So anyway, thank you again so much for watching. I really appreciate all of my subscribers. I know people say that. I know they mean it. I really mean it too, from the bottom of my heart, and I hope that each and every one of you, new, subscribed, visiting again, I hope everybody has a wonderful weekend. It's closing in on the end of August. We're getting ready for September. So let's, let's all be courageous and soldier forth and do our best. And if you have any questions about the projects, either in this video or a video that you've seen that I've done in the past, drop me a comment below and I will take a look. I always read all of the comments and I'll see if I can't help you. A lot of times I get patterns based on the questions that I get from my subscribers and my visitors. So just check in. I will see you in the next video. Thank you.